Cut. Yo, how y'all feeling out there, man? Yo, we kicking it this morning. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the homeboy Diddy and everything he got going crazy right now. It's been a roll. Let me see. Okay, wait. I forgot how that shit be going. You gotta hit unlisted, right? Wait, okay, over here. Yeah, it's like this weird way how you do the lives and shit. I gotta try to make sure my live popping up so we can see each other. 30 seconds in so far. Here it is. Bet. So now I get so you got to do it basically on the main computer. If you didn't hit it on the phone, I didn't hit it on the phone. So hit it on the main computer, hit that, and then hit save, and then we ought to be live in about 3, 2, 1. Activity. So hopefully it'll come in 57 seconds in. Hopefully I'll be live in a minute. Second. Anyway, what's good, everybody out there? Appreciate y'all coming to the channel, checking us out today. There's definitely a lot of wildness going on the Diddy trial. We're going in the section of the part where it's like they call it deliberation, where they deliberate. There we go. Now we should be live. We should be live. Probably was live a few seconds ago. The deliberating part is basically the part where the jury, who've been sitting in there for 6 weeks almost, is get the chance to sit back and listen to everything that they heard. And underneath that, they're going to decide if Diddy is telling the truth. I'm going to make sure my audio is right because the audio was tweaking. I think my last live. So let me just check the audio real quick. But under the new situation of them asking, okay, perfect on the audio. They was under the new situation. They were asking a lot of questions. The jury was asking the judge to describe shit for them, particularly the drug trafficking part, where they were saying that he was a drug trafficker and all this shit. Well, we know he wasn't, but the reality of it is that it was drugs around, and it was drugs he was using. It was drugs everybody was using. You know what I'm saying? You can imagine being a multimillionaire. It's crackheads who can get their hands on drugs. It's crackheads who can get their hands on money, who can go buy as much drugs as they want, to the fact that they become crackheads. So imagine a multi-billionaire who can actually just go find several dudes in every state to make sure that when he get in town, his drugs available for him, or he got somebody to work for him who could go ahead of time and say, yo, we're going to be in town. We need to get this amount. He ain't got to touch nothing. He just basically go and get these people to bring him the drugs, and then he's straight. You know what I'm saying? So to call him a drug trafficker is going to be crazy, because that means he'd have to have the drugs at his crib, making sure he disseminating it to people. You know what I'm saying? So that's not going to be something that you will see necessarily all the time. If you talking about P. Diddy, who is a multi-billionaire, he's not going to be drug dealing and doing drugs like that. So I don't see it where somebody is going to catch him as a drug mule or drug dealer. When you seeing somebody like Diddy, who's as rich as he is, and now you got these people who's making decisions on his life, I can't see people making decisions on his life and being friendly with it. These people are probably going to be uncomfortably foul. They're going to probably try to keep him locked up and not want him to get out. What's up, Michael? What's up, Daniel? I appreciate y'all popping in. What's good? Yo, so I don't see them liking Diddy and wanting him to get free. And that is really the really tumultuous part about his dilemma, because these people are the people who decide your freedom, but they're regular people. And it's about a jury of your peers. It's like, hey, I'm a billionaire. We should probably get rich people in there, or at least people who make over 200,000 a year, 250,000 a year. That would be somebody close to my peers. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how they gonna be able to do a jury pool, and it's not nobody ever able to see what Diddy has been up to. We know he was up to something foul, because you think about all these people who got claims against him, and that's really what the jury gonna also think to themselves. They're gonna say, yo, how am I supposed to believe that this guy didn't do nothing with all these people making these claims? How can you get past that? You know, you got all these people making claims against you. We're supposed to be believing that you didn't do this stuff, but you got too many people coming in court. They interviewed all his workers, at least 8 of them. They interviewed all these witnesses who's coming there trying to lock him down. Yeah, Billo, we got to, because we got to keep talking about it, because it's what's happening in the world today. You know what I'm saying? And it's what's the biggest news right now. If you ever pay attention to the internet, the verdict watch on Diddy is the biggest conversation happening in the world. And rightfully so, because as we know as black people, they have been castigating black men for some sexual crime for hundreds of years. This is not abnormal. This is regular. You know what I'm saying? So when we seeing it, we want to know what ultimately is going to happen with this, because If we all trying to become rich one day or be opulent or have money, why would we want to see somebody else go down if that's your ultimate dream? You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. He could have just stayed in the hood and been a street dude. He could have just stayed in his neighborhood in Harlem and just been a dude who sold drugs. He didn't have to go put music out. He didn't have to do the remixes. He didn't have to bring artists out as a CEO of his own record label. He could have just stayed in his neighborhood and sold drugs and was a crack dealer like everybody else. Like majority of the people, because think he's one out of multi-millions of black dudes in New York. Imagine how many other CEO billionaires it is in New York that came from the 90s to now, or even from the 2000s to now. These one of a kind of people. They not even a lot of people that could say that they had that same success run. So if he didn't stay in the hood and just be a drug dealer, if he didn't stay in the hood and just be a gangster, then he became a multi-billionaire. To me, the question is, how is he going to jail? How can you set a scenario up where he goes to prison when you got so many other people in other cultures who become successful and then they just become Forbes listers, or they become Fortune 500 people, or 200 or 100. We don't see the same for black guys. He's supposed to be able he's supposed to be able to take his money and parlay that stuff into different brands and different businesses that help and uplift his culture, just like other cultures do. But when he's black, especially a person that don't like black women, that don't be interested in his own culture of women, now every girl you with is non-black. You got to have foreigners, or you got to have somebody who's not in your own culture. Then you go down. And so these people who is the ones in charge, they get to make that decision. So you don't like black women. Okay, cool. Well, who you got over there? And then you disrespecting them. You can't even just be with them because you like them, or they foreign, or they got different cultures, or whatever. They cook food, whatever you're interested in them. You got to disrespect them. You got to diss them, dog them out. Your money make you treat them less than human. And now it's such a hard thing for him to swallow sitting in jail. But in all likelihood, he probably will be convicted, because you got all of these people who making a decision. These 12 different humans who making a decision. To me, it's cut and dry. He didn't do all the shit that they claiming. He did do some shit, but he didn't do the stuff that they claiming. So it would be easy for him to just pop up over there and be freed. But the way it's played out, it's not like played out like that. They looking at it like he fouled. Yo, what's up, Isaac? What's up, Nova? What's up, Chocolate Face? What's up, Craig, Mississippi? I see everybody popping in. I appreciate y'all too. We all on the verdict watch. Everybody that's interested in knowing what's going on. The jury is like anonymous, so we don't know who it is, but they do give the demographics. Like almost everyone that's a large amount of them are over 50 years old. You got 5 white guys, because one black dude was on there, and it was like 5 black people, but then they kicked one black guy off, and they got an alternator in here, and I think that's the alternator is a white person. So now it's like 5 white guys, it's like 4 black people, and it's like 2 Hispanics, and it's like 1 Asian. So we know Asian people and Hispanic is definitely going to try to vote for the white side or against black people, because at this moment it's like too tumultuous for them to be saying, yo, you go free, because that's going to make them look weird. So they're going to be like, okay, we voting with what the white boys voting with. But that's why they make it a unanimous decision. So even if you have some allegiance with people, or you get kind of camaraderie with them because you on the trial with them, or y'all friendly or cool, that still don't allow you to go in there and just convict the person. You got to be a unanimous. Everybody got to make the same. It's the same statement, and everybody got to make the same points in order for this guy to go free. And I don't see that happening. I don't see it, because to me it looked like they're going to sit back and convict him on something. They're going to go and say, yo, you at least go down for blah, blah, blah. Whatever what element of it is, we don't know. But I do see him getting locked up. It's unfortunate for him, but it do teach you. It do give you a real understanding on how you need to be treating people, especially when you get to his level. This dude rich as hell. You made that kind of money, and all you got in your repertoire is how you treated black people by foul, and how they can come to court against you and just put you such a bad they wave you out here wilding, man. White people call these smoothies, bro, so stop playing with me. Y'all gotta walk in the kitchen with me because I was actually making some iced tea, the best of my ability. I ain't no iced tea maker. This actually was my first time, but my auntie had made some hibiscus iced tea about a month ago, and I was like, that shit was good as a bitch. But I never made no iced tea myself, so y'all gotta bear with your homie as I dump this into the rest of the iced tea that I've been putting together. Yeah, dig. So that's off. That's off. And then I just basically pour this in a little you dig right there. Look like these motherfuckers busted. I got it. No, I gotta put the thing there because it looked like it busted. One of the tea things busted, so I need one of those strainers. Where's that strainer, man? That little bitty strainer ain't gonna do it. Actually, it could, but that's a big one, I know. I still ain't seen that strainer. My girl had a bigger one. But some of the iced tea popped spots and milk broke or some shit. Damn. Just get it down in there, boy. Get up out of there. Man, that's been short and small. Damn. This bitch little as fuck. Yeah, man, he did do a him one. Yeah, I agree with you, Brusky. Yeah, he did do all that. You playing right there in that little illegal woo. Yeah, man, that shit crazy, man. About how he set himself up for such a destructive ass reality. It's like, damn, I couldn't even imagine being that rich. Imagine this the one I need. Look at the difference. See the difference? Imagine being that rich, man. And I was gonna try to use two to do the job of one. So this baby ought to do it. Go ahead and win it. Yeah, so he basically did set himself up though, because it's like we don't know what he was up to, and them people that's gonna be voting against him in court, they don't know what the hell he's been up to. But you set yourself up for them to make the decisions about your life, and that to me is the scariest part. It's like, whoa, like regular people who you do not know, they the ones deciding if your ass go free, and you P. Diddy of all people, like a rich billionaire who been rich since I was a kid. That's why they calling it verdict watch, boy. So this one busted. Right here, I see that. That one busted. These ain't busted. And now I got some iced tea. Yeah, but old Diddy boy, it just teach you, man, don't treat people foul when you get your paper, man. When you get your money, watch how you treat folks because they gonna come back at you in a way that you ain't gonna even want to understand it. And even just hearing about the stuff that he did, you know, to the girls or made the girls do, even if it ain't something you into, it do seem egregious. It's like, damn, dude, what the fuck? And the fact that he was still paying some of them bitches rent while they in court against him, it's like, damn, I definitely wouldn't have been able to do that. I'd have been like, boy, if you don't cancel that shit, hell up. I had to definitely knock that tea out of there. We had an overflow. Y'all. One of the tea bags busted sitting in that hot heat trying to make some tea. My first iced tea. Y'all gonna be buying it if I get it good and I put it in the stores. Y'all gonna be like, man, this hood iced tea, boy. This hood iced tea. All right, so the next phase of iced tea is honey. I already got some lemons in there. I should put some more to make it more kick. Yeah, it's crazy though, cause it's like, Diddy, dude, how the fuck you gonna put yourself in a situation like this, man? A billionaire, and you got these folks sitting up here for to make a decision on your life, bro. It's like, man, I would be so scared, man. And you sitting in jail. I think that the fact that they haven't said not guilty already, and they went back to the judge asking 3 times for different kind of like trying to ask questions and stuff about the charges. They keep going to the judge asking questions. That's scary in its own right, because it's like y'all just sat here and heard everything he said. What y'all talking about? You need more information, man. Just say not guilty. The hell y'all talking about? You need to talk more. Just say not guilty. What's there talk about? So it's crazy, man. We got the homie Junior Bushcraft. What's up, Lydia? Or Lita, I can't tell you, but they're Eric the Great. Yeah, there's a bunch of little folks stepping in here, man, and I appreciate that. Y'all see I put Trump up there because I know that Trump said that he gonna pardon Diddy. And so that's a real critical part right there. When Trump pardoned Diddy, that's gonna be a motherfucker right there, boy. It's like he's basically not gonna spend no time in jail. He gonna basically be going home. He ain't gonna be spending time in jail. Diddy is coming home. That's why I said, even if he is found guilty by these corny ass people, Trump said he coming up out of there. Trump said it already. He walking home. So he probably had to go through the formalities or the paperwork of whatever it costs to do that, to get somebody out. You know what I'm saying? It probably costs some money, or whatever the time it is that it costs to get a person out of jail. That's that good, honey. And it's thick as a dog ass, boy. Oh, shit. I wanted to use this spoon. Yeah, so I'm like, I wish the guy the best luck. You know what I'm saying? That's what I could say for old Diddy, boy. I wish you luck. Because now you got these folks finna make a decision about your future, and I don't see people being too nice. You know what I'm saying? Really, I don't. I see people looking at you like a pariah. Not sweet at all. And that's the thing about tea is like, I don't know how my auntie got that damn tea. I think she said she used some other kind of alternative sugar or some shit. Agave, I don't know. I know she said monkey something. Monk fruit. I think she said something like that. Monk fruit. I ain't got no damn monk fruit around here. Jack said Diddy is going in a prison and much deserved. Yeah, I do agree a lot of times with the fact that he should go. But in a lot of ways I don't, because it's like, why pinpoint him and make him be the laughing stock or the face of sexual misconduct when they basically was like saying LGBT is legal. So why the fuck can't he just be a part of that? Like if he does sex the way that it is, which is like, I guess adding people to the thing, swinger lifestyle, whatever the fuck they want to call it, why can't they just ask that to that? You know what I'm saying? And my man, Muhammad fan, Dirt fan, you need to hit your homie up with some money on Hood Films on Cashapp or Venmo if you're trying to get that accomplished. You know what I mean? Damn, another one busted. These suckers be busting. Let me take these out, because they gonna mess up my damn tea if they busting like this. The tea gonna need to be sifted. I don't like that. Okay, I guess that's the only one that's broke, but I can't get it out of there now. Damn. When I was stirring, the bags busted. I guess you can't keep the bags in tea, huh? This is my first go around, y'all. I never made tea before. I thought when I was a kid, my mother was keeping the tea bags in there, but that was in the fucking 80s. You know what I'm saying? So I don't remember like that, if she actually did that, but I'm gonna take the bags out because I don't really want them to have all of this. I don't want the bags to bust and then mess up the damn tea. So the intensity we got it to this point is what we're gonna have. Cause one of them just busted, and then it leaves like little tea particles, you can imagine. And I can sift through this, but What would I pour it into is the question, because I don't think I got nothing else this goddamn big. That's not gonna do it. I ain't got nothing else as big as that to pour it back and pour it out. So we stuck with it. But if I could think of another, I'm trying not to use regular sugar because it's supposed to be so unhealthy and all that shit. Getting close. The sweet coming. It ain't that bad, I ain't gonna lie. It's hot in a bitch though. I think salt, ice is gonna fuck up the intensity. Yeah, I don't want to use a whole half of my fucking, but I got to. Yeah, but Diddy, man, imagine him going back to that mansion, y'all. Let's talk about that. You've been sitting in jail for 3 months, and now you sitting for 5, 6 months, and now you in trial, and these people chilling on you, finna see what you did if you gonna go to jail, and all you can think about is if you gonna get your motherfucking ass back to your mansion. Like, am I gonna get back to my mansion? That's the question. That's what I need to know. Because you gotta think he built that. That's something Big Diddy built that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody built that but him. His crib. Damn, man, them damn things was busting like a bitch. I can't believe it. But I didn't know. My tea bag busted. Oh, it's so many tea bag particles in here. It's unbelievable. So I gotta, y'all seeing me making it on the first time ever, and it ain't perfect. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna have to pour it in this bucket. Cause it's gonna be unedible if we got all that damn tea particle shit. Let me drink that. Yeah, so that's like crazy. But now you got that big ass mansion, you gotta leave. Now he ain't gotta leave his crib, but at home it's gonna be crazy with that big ass mansion. There we go. And it was enough space. All right, that's better. That's better. I had all that tea shit. Look at that. Look at all that tea shit that fell in my goddamn tea. Ross Clyde. Ross Clyde. So I can dump this in the garbage. Dump that right on out. I'm gonna dump these tea bags. Yeah, y'all, so I thought this was gonna be easy and smooth. Like, I ain't shit. Nobody told me. I was just thinking to myself, like, you know what? Instead of making a cup of tea, it's the summer. Why don't you just make some iced tea? It's the first time ever me trying it. But in all reality, I got the tea from like Family Dollar. So now I realize that them tea bags ain't shit. But I ain't, you know. But anyway, tea is something that you cannot have in jail. They don't even let you have coffee in that bitch. Like if you used to be a coffee drinker, your ass done. You know, they're not even letting you have that in jail. It's over with. So you only gonna get what they giving you. And most times it's gonna be some shit your ass don't want because this jail is state driven. It's federally driven. So it's not like he's gonna be getting none of the stuff that he like, these creature comforts that he was paying for or had. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's gonna make you feel weird. All the stuff that you used to have, and you can't even have that shit sitting in there. And the people can't understand your pain. You know, I remember hearing that Diddy just had a little daughter. The people were saying Diddy had a little bitty daughter, a little kid. And she was like 2 to 6 years old or something like that. 5 or 5 months, I'm not sure exactly the age, but it's like a really young child. And then you saw Cassie just had a kid. So in reality, it's like they had both moved on with their life. And she just came out the woodwork when that video came out. When that video came out of him smacking her around, that's when she popped out and was like, no, you did something wrong and you going to jail for it. Otherwise, you probably would have never heard from her again. She probably was out the mix. Well, that's as far as I get to go with this tea, because I don't think I'm going to put no more lemons in it, because I could, but I put 2 in there already, so I think I'm just going to, all right, I'll put 1 more lemon in there, because I have to throw those other lemons away. since they had all that T shit on it. But yeah, so now he's free from prison. I believe he's going home. I don't think they're gonna let him sit up in there, because you gotta think, man, he make money and he make other people money. So they got what they wanted, which was the humiliation part. They wanted to humiliate him. Man, don't nobody know other people's sexual desires or wants or needs. You'd have to post that shit online, and then somebody who interested in your ass had to go fucking find it and see it. Otherwise, they wouldn't even look at that shit. You know what I'm saying? So the fact to try to make it seem like that this nigga did all this shit and we know his sexual desires, but you don't know nobody else's sexual desires. It's just that we have such a keen information with the lawsuit and the court filings against him that everything about this whole thing was about what did he like in the bedroom. That's all the fuck we heard. Like, what was he like in the bedroom? Is he a strong guy? Is he a weak guy? That's all the fuck they talked about. What's Diddy like if he's freaky? What's Diddy like, you know? And it's like, as dudes, I thought the nigga, when they were saying the charges, I thought that he really did repos and shit like that. I was really trying to tune in and see, like, whoa, this nigga was, so he was selling dope and shit? Like, that's crazy, huh? And then you fulfill the conversation and realize he wasn't doing none of that shit. He basically was boning some broads, and he was fucking them. And they got jealous because he was boning other chicks and lying, talking about some he ain't with her no more. But he's so rich, he could just fly a bitch out of town, and you'll never see him with his girlfriend, or the girl would never know unless he talked about it online or made some kind of post. And then she like, you can hear in the trials, I found out that he went out of town with some girl. That's what the fuck they was mad about. That's all they were saying. I found out that he cheated, and that motherfucker wasn't shit for doing that to me. I was girlfriend. And he can't be a billionaire, right? He can't. Now, if there was a female who turned around and said, I don't want to be with you no more, stop contacting me, any dude that contact her after that is a fucking, what they call him, stalker, he crazy, he mental, because she said it's over, and he keep reaching out to her. But now these girls that did that to Diddy, and they supposed to be victims. He left her. He stopped talking to her. She's such a victim. No, you just a girlfriend that he don't want to fuck with no more. Well, you get to take him to court. You get to file charges. You get to make sure he's going to be caught up and built up because of what he did. And it's like he just broke up with a girl. Like most motherfuckers break up with a girl and get the fuck on. But since he a billionaire, she could pull him into a courtroom and try to put a trial on him. And that shit is just outrageously stupid. And that's why America is looking at this case and looking at this trial like bullshit. Because again, if B. Diddy would have stayed in his neighborhood and just sold drugs, you think they would have came at him today talking about he was a fucking any of these dumbass crimes? But the fact that he took his prowess, his intellect, his hard work, and made music which impact people, which lasts in the lexicon and it lasts in the world for hundreds and hundreds of years, even when he's dead, his music will play, his impact in the world will still be standard because he's alive and he's here and he made his music stand out. But now it's the Michael Jackson dance. Just like they said about MJ. Oh no, he's a pedophile. He freaked these boys and girls and all these weird words they were saying. And it's like, whoa, what? Yeah, that's what we're saying. Now remember, and I said this before too, when people get rich, they find a way to act more like white people. So they'll be low-key, they'll be quiet, they won't show up to black events, they won't be around black people no more, they'll stop coming around, they'll feel like y'all gonna fuck my situation up with these white people, y'all gonna make sure if they find out I'll hang with y'all like this or do what we do, y'all gonna make it seem like that I'm the reason or it's a problem that what I'm doing. So most black people gonna get a distance from their own culture or their own people, their own family, whatever reason they do it. So now when white people pull up the shit out the basket on you and say you're a pedophile, say you're a freak, say you're a fucking person that hurt people, whatever they say, no black people really got any information on you because your family don't see you, the people in the streets don't see you. You want to go up in a nice neighborhood and hide them in a little cut, and where all white folks is really the only ones around you, and then they get to determine whatever else come down the pipeline because they pay you. They the ones who said you was rich, And they the ones who put this kind of situation up there for you. But now you coming to us and saying, hey, everybody, listen, they lying. What they saying about me is not true. How we supposed to believe that? We have not seen your ass. We don't even know you. And the shit that they claiming you did is only they kind of shit. That's the type of shit that they do. So if you even learned that shit, we know you had to learn about watching them. So it's like, how the fuck you coming over here now saying I'm not like that and we should have support? What? It's enough black people or black women who didn't give a chance today. He could have paid their rent, paid their light bill, $10,000 a month. She would have started her hair salon, started her damn daycare center. But guys like him don't think like that. When I was young, it was a movie out called Sleeping with the Enemy. That movie was about a woman who was being domestically violent about, I guess, some guy. Maybe he was a stalker. I forgot the title, but the situation. I think J-Lo played in it. I can't remember exactly. It's a very, very long time ago. The idea of the movie was that she was dating a guy. He hated her or he liked her. And she kept being with him even though it was a bad situation. That's kind of like Diddy. Because even though he knew these women could be maniacal, probably not the best girlfriends and shit, because it's always coming from their perspective what kind of boyfriend he was with no camera pointing towards what kind of girlfriend you was. And that's why his lawyer was able to spit like that and say, no, you was actually calling these guys, you was actually texting these guys, you was reaching out to these guys, sending me deep pics and whatnot. So now you're trying to say Diddy was telling you to do it? At what point did he say do it? Because this is your phone. And this is days or weeks after the alleged freak-offs. So you basically was in contact and cahoots with these people. Some of them was people you knew or contacted or communicated with. So how can he be a trafficker? There's no way he could be an ex-trafficker if you're in communication with the ex-trafficker. It's like he was trafficking me, but I dated the person who he trafficked me with afterwards. What? So it's really crazy to think that Diddy is going to stop being a part of the world because these people have had these real ignorant statements about him. It don't seem like it should stick. Musicians have been having girls fall over them since Bon Jovi and them when I was a kid, and it's been before that. So the girls would be in the bikinis, they'd be in the, I remember being a kid, and they used to have music videos on TV. But they didn't play rap videos at this time. They only had videos from white people. So you might get Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, you would get Culture Club, you would get, just white groups. That's what would be on the TV at that time. They played music videos on regular TV. So it would be like, white groups, and I could name hundreds of them. Depeche Mode, it was just white people. Quiet Riot, this just came on TV. So you start learning the names and hearing Pat Benatar, and this is in the 80s. So eventually, we wanted to see rap. So they started trying to ease rap in there. But they would start with like Run DMC with Aerosmith, like things like that. It was kind of still rock and roll, but then it would ease a little rap in there. So then we were starting to get hungry, like more and more. Eventually rap took over. So, but it took a while and they held out as long as they could. But I just remember that all the time you would see those music videos, there would be dudes with makeup on, dudes with fucking wigs and shit, tight ass clothes on, and it would be girls in bikinis dancing behind them, white women and shit, all sexy and sexual every fucking time. These would be the music videos, no matter who sang, it didn't matter. The girls would be in unison, they would be dressed alike. Every fucking imagination you could think of, these would be the music videos from the white people back at that time. And you see the girls and shit, the hairstyles. Some of them you liked, some of them you didn't. Yeah, Ice-T cool too for a war. But at the end of the day, you would be like, nothing thought about. It didn't make you think shit. It was just normal. So now you fast forward to the times of today, and the guys got the music videos. They got the girls shaking their ass. They got the girls in the tight booty. They got the girls at the swimsuit. Luke. You got the guys, 5 or 6 girls dancing around him. His face all between her booty cheeks and shit. It's the music videos of the hip hop world. And now it's demortified. Now it's talked down upon. Now it's disrespected. Now it's wrong. Now it shouldn't happen. Now they degrading women. Now it's sexism. It's misogyny. All of these bullshit words that didn't exist when the white guys was doing it. It was normalized. So if any of those white guys married those girls that was in those videos, if they assaulted them in those music videos, if they kidnapped them and held them in a basement, how would we know anything about that? They didn't criminalize that type of behavior. It was not a problem until black dudes started doing it. Now you got a guy like Diddy, who you could say is like the copper coin of hip hop. He's the one who makes the biggest statement. He's the one who has done the biggest work that lasted the longest time. And the fact that he wouldn't get out of hip hop or stop or chill or find something else to do, and he really did. But the fact that celebrity them, that kept him from being just a music person a alcohol seller in the sideline. He still was in TV. He still was at events. He still was, showing up, because celebrity was something that when people put you in a celebrity status, you there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree. I agree. He looking for a run. He said he's a has-been. After 35 years, of course you a has-been at that time. You was cool at 24, and you supposed to still be cool at 54? That don't even fucking make sense. So we know that if a person is a celebrity for 30 years, then he's planted there. The people are keeping him in the limelight. They're making sure that media notices him. Otherwise, he would have been obscure like anybody else from the fucking. Look at Kool Moe Dee. Where the fuck he at? He was out there back then. Where even Ice-T, who Foreign Warren mentioned, never you see him in movies. Never you see him in nothing else. All he does is that TV show and take his ass home. You don't see him at no rap shows. You don't see him at events. You don't see him popping out to much when I'm doing the next concert. You see Ice-T at his show. He might do an interview with one of them little interview people, and he take his ass home. Why? Keeping the limelight away from him. Queen Latifah, you name a person from the 80s and the 90s, they keep it low key. Look, even somebody like Will Smith and LL Cool J, who've been around even longer than Sean Combs, than P Diddy, they try to keep themselves in the limelight, but the people won't let them. The people not gonna let it. LL just dropped a dope ass rap album. I didn't hear it, and most people not gonna hear it, because you have to be a fan of him at this time to go seek out his stuff. Even Will Smith, if Will Smith is not working in a movie and being on the theater, I don't give a fuck what he doing. Somebody just dropped a freestyle that he came out with a few days ago, and it seemed pretty okay. But I'm sorry, that was that little freestyle that seemed pretty okay. Although Will Smith did do a freestyle as well, it was just like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Say, for one say, I know about him. He was Puff Daddy, aka Sean Combs. Yeah, he was doing his thing, and I don't think that just because he been around 30 years that he ain't shit. I'm just saying that his repertoire of work, how long can it last? When we supposed to sit back and engulf what you put out, but you constantly dropping shit, or you constantly being in the ethos. Now we got to keep turning away from the last thing you did and say, okay, now you got a liquor, let's go find it. Oh, now you're not with that liquor company, now you over here, okay. How we gonna be a fan and keeping up with you? We following everything you do for 30-something years. Gonna get fucking tired. You're gonna get bored. There's new people in the game now. Somebody else you might want to be interested in, instead of the same people with the same conversation. You know what I'm saying? So is Diddy gonna actually be free? I say yeah, because he didn't do the actual crimes charged. He didn't do that. Did he do something? Yeah. He definitely did. He did something that these people don't like. Those girls that he was around, they ain't gonna fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? Such a pity about the slap. I love DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince when I was 12. It wasn't a pity. Dude is foul for doing that shit. He wouldn't have did that to The Rock, but he did it to Chris Rock, because he looked at Chris Rock as a little bit more feeble and less of a man. But he wouldn't have did it to a guy who he knew would have put hands up with him in the spot, because it would have been a bad situation. So he sometimes pick people pick and choose their victims. You know what I'm saying? But it happened. You know what I'm saying? And dude probably just took it on the chin, because sometimes he's like sharp with the tongue. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes there can be a bad repercussion. You could say something to a person like, you growing up, or you might say, your mama, or you a bitch, and before you know it, motherfucker hit you in the face. Now you got to respond. So it's like, do you respond or don't you respond? Basically, the table's on your hands. It's turned on you, but you can't tell the person how to respond. So that's why when he turned around and hit him, or walked up there and hit him, basically the bag was on Chris Rock. What you gonna do? Because you promoted, or provoked is the word, somebody. So if you provoked him, then you can't, that's what happened. So he took it on the chin as a man. He said, okay, I provoked you. This is not the place for me to try to tussle with you. Let it go. And that happens. And that makes him a bigger man, because you can take a punch and let it go. Not everybody can do that, especially in the black culture. Somebody shoot you or hit you, it's going to be a shootout. It don't matter where the fuck the white people at. They finna come clean this shit up after the fact, but it's going down. So the fact that Chris Rock could take a punch or take a slap, that don't lose no damn respect for no shit like that. That's mediocre shit. And then the guy tried to use my wife as the standard as to why he hit him. So that's even more something not to fight back. He literally trying to fight for the honor of his wife. It's like, what? How the fuck did you wake up thinking you was gonna do that to somebody today? So if a person got that kind of ideology, he hit him one time, he walked away. If he tried to disrespect him and duke him down or get on top of him, then it's time to retaliate and try to kill him. But if he just did some basic dumb shit, he hit you in the face, walked away, who cares? Let that shit go and be a man. And unfortunately, he had to be a man in that situation. And being a man ain't popular. It's not popular. Most people, when you had to be a man in a situation, people hate your ass. So that's just one of those moments. You had to be a man in that situation, and everybody else ain't gonna fucking understand it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I got it, because it's just okay. P. Diddy right now sitting in the damn thing. Remember, he tried all them damn ways to get out of jail. He put up 50 million. He put up all his money. He got 3, 4 different judges. None of that shit worked because the people in charge was like, you finna sit your ass in this jail. You ain't getting out. Money can't fix it. Money can't make this right. It don't matter how much money you got. You're sitting your ass in jail, and that's what happened to him. He ain't walking up out of there. And the people who get to make the decision made the decision. You ain't walking your ass up out of here. It's scary, because I can imagine being rich since my 20s. See, me and you, we're alike. We have to go figure out how to make money. We have to go find somebody, a corporation, a white person, somebody who got some money, who's gonna fuck with us and be friendly with us and give us some money. Only thing that make YouTube cool is that it's not a human. That's it. It's still the same exact thing I just described. It's just not a physical human. So you got to stay within the standards. You got to make sure they like you. You got to make sure the people who you plan and talking your videos to, that they like you, and possibly you can make some money. When you got a job like most of us do, the whole world, then you got to make sure some people fuck with you so that they could give you some money. But if you somebody like P. Diddy, who you've been rich since you was 20 fucking 4, since 22 years old, not 2022, since 22 years old, 25 years old, you had 800,000, you had 300,000, and it was in your bank account. It wasn't like you had to spend that shit. And then every single year since then, you started getting money. You kept getting money. That's hustle. That's hustle. Yeah, that's true. You're right, man. The trade dog, the Hill Obama. Got to sell yourself, dog. You say build up that charisma, put the face card in faces. That's true. Yeah, you should put that on a t-shirt right there. Put up face cards and faces. That's dope. But what you realize is that he was able to, the one anomaly, the one freak of nature. He basically is LeBron James of music. He basically is Michael Jordan of music. To be able to sustain that long, to be able to have that type of hustle. You're right, bro. To be able to put that type of shit in the game since you was 23, 25. Now you 55, nigga. What? That's 30 fucking. It's niggas who done been in prison out, been in prison out, been in prison out 10 times, and ain't get nowhere closer to that. Yup. It ain't easy. Yeah, that's true. And remember, Diddy was rich and on before the algorithm existed. So then he was able to get inside the algorithm and still sustain himself to this day. And that's why I say some people are planted. Some people can pan their way inside this algorithm to keep themselves in and up. You know what I'm saying? Because you could look at somebody like a young buck who get caught up in a tranny situation, whether it's true or not. Or the other kid who was out there singing right there, I forgot his name, the young guy. He had the album called Jackpot. These are scenarios that is going to kill your success. Or even a game who got caught up with a girl and the girl now sued him and now he got to lose all his money. These are things that kick you out the mix. What's up, Kush? Yo, and then stand your horn, I see you. Yeah, been for the Oscars for 10 years. I see Steve-O Stoner. Yeah, Chingy, that's dude name. I couldn't remember his name, but I remember his albums was banging. But he got caught up in the mix, and then now this kicks him out the industry. So it's like, or a battle rap that you did, and then you did your part, and then everybody ain't fucking with you no more. They kind of fade up off. There's too many ways to fall off in the music industry. So if you see somebody who's been around for 30 fucking years, who you know? How you in the game? That's why the scenario was coming out too much when he was gay and all this, because who knew? And then the fact that none of these women actually said that he was doing nothing, what we assume externally was a gay act, but there was gay acts involved. You understand what I'm saying? And this was his girlfriend saying it. So was they telling the truth? That's why sometimes you gotta kind of be on the up and up, because he could have cleared this up if he would have just got his ass on the stand. But they dealing with them lawyers, and they like, do not get on that stand, don't say shit, because they gonna eat you alive. So, but he could have cleared that shit up and just got right up on the stand and be like, you bitches lying. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? And speak up on your behalf. But again, he has such a nefarious shit happening that by the time the problem come up for him speaking on his behalf, the girls and everybody looking at him like, nobody want to hear what the fuck you saying. If you get up on that stand, they're going to tear your head off. They're going to ask you about shit that you don't want to speak. Well, was 1,000 baby oils in your house? You like, hold up, I want to address old girl and what the fuck she said. They like, answer this first. No, ask me about what the fuck she just said. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is gonna go out. So even if he go free, imagine he go free and he want to show up at some event, cameras popping out on his ass, everybody looking at his ass like, watch that nigga tonight. Hey, be careful when dude. And I'm telling you, years ago, all the fucking TV was about, because this is before the internet was hitting. You watching TV, it's all about, oh, Diddy party. It's a Diddy party. We're going to be at Diddy party tonight. Oh, what's happening tonight? Well, I was at Diddy party. Man, come on, man. They done flipped the whole motherfucking media world and we supposed to be stupid. Like, we supposed to follow what the internet or follow what other people is trying to claim as if we didn't have the experience. That's how you know it's bullshit involved, because you put this on the fucking TV. I wasn't at the crib writing in saying, what's happening with P. Diddy? You fucking did that for years. Not no 1 month, not no one weekend. For years, they did that shit. Every fucking Oscar, all them motherfucking concerts and parties, whatever, what they call them, award shows, they was on there. It's a Diddy party. What y'all wearing to Diddy? He got a white party this year. It's going to be on the yacht. All this shit was constant. And if y'all don't remember this shit, it's because you probably wasn't doing a hip-hop thing at that time. But that shit is real. They put that shit all over TV just so today they could flip it on him. And that he was young and naive. He couldn't think that, man, don't have these people in your motherfucking mansion. Man, don't play no sexual motherfucking games with these people. Don't be no freak daddy. No, man, slow down, because these motherfuckers going to switch it up on you. And what they do, they did the switcheroo. So now it's no longer P. Diddy party. Oh, I can't wait to go. Now it's like P. Diddy party. What the hell happened? Was you at that motherfucker? I wonder what y'all did. Because it's a new era, it's a new time, and they could just throw him at it right away. And old boy, Professor Black Truth, say something that's the truth. He said, white people love a joke on you that take a long time to play out. It's not just gonna happen tonight. It's gonna be like, as soon as the joke's on you, it might take 4 years for that shit to play out. And that's exactly what happened, because I'm looking back like, damn, they were just saying this nigga was the man. They was like, everybody was trying to be in his parties. The whole motherfucking world was trying to be in his parties. Now they done flipped it and was like, yeah, he up here doing all this and doing all that. Then what the fuck you was doing? Because y'all show said y'all was at that bitch. You better not say that. You better not say that. What he did to them girls. He ain't did shit to them girls. That was his girlfriend for 11 years. You can't do shit to a bitch for 11 fucking years. That's not even real. How can you do something to somebody for 11 years, huh? That's what? You could probably do something to somebody for 11 minutes. You might could do something to somebody, if you really, 11 days. You ain't finna do shit to nobody for no 11 weeks, 11 months. And to think that you could do something to somebody negatively for 11 years. Come on. You walk into the fucking store going to get chicken. You could just jump on the fucking Uber and keep going. Come on. Hey, Eric Sachs, we're going to holler later about what you talking about, boy. We're going to holler later about what you talking about. Because I'm looking at what Eric Sachs said, and I'm like, hey, when they put Diddy, don't be giving them girls that money, because all these people suing him, they ain't came with criminal lawyers. They came with civil suits. So they trying to come at that $1 billion. They need these people. I'm telling you right now, Diddy is in that motherfucker biting his fingernails, because if they say guilty, that means he has between 1 and 7 years to do a fucking appeal. But the civil suit, that bitch gonna start Monday. That's gonna start July 6th, whatever the fuck Monday is. They're gonna kick that shit off and be like, yeah, found guilty, put my forms in. So he's gonna have to settle the lawsuits from them people, the civil suits, before he get to the fucking appeal. And so they'll rob him to death, because every single girl, even his co-workers that come to that place, they're gonna be able to say, I'm under mental duress. I had to come on there and express how these things happened to me and it went viral. And I don't know, I can't walk to the store now. I need $31 million to hide inside a mansion so I don't have to go nowhere. They're going to say, gave it to her. And say it's 7 people that did that. 7 times 30, 7 times 50, because the jury and the people going to give you the damages. You got 9 motherfuckers fighting against you. Even the people who lied, that went up there and they proved that that person was lying. Like, man, you lying your ass off. Kid Cudi gonna walk in there and say, he gonna have his prettiest dress on and be like, I need my new money. I need my money. And they gonna be like, here, give him some money too. But I thought that they would have took Diddy money and gave it to black people for reparations. That's what I was saying. But I know they ain't gonna do no shit like that. If Diddy get free, he's gonna be broke from legal fees, lawsuits, commissary. Nigga said commissary. Hey, commissary funny because imagine this. It's just me. I know y'all don't know me like this. I know you don't know me like this, so forgive me for letting you in on this little secret. But if I was in jail with this nigga, Diddy, it would be instant gangsterism over here. 100%. As soon as I saw him, I'm cool as hell. Then it's like, hey nigga, you gotta put me on, or I'm fucking you up in this bitch. Nothing to talk about. I don't give a fuck who you go get, any of these niggas. I'm beating your ass if I don't get some money on my shit right now. And it'll just, I'm in jail. I'm sitting like, what? And he come in this bitch? And hey, if you tell any one of these motherfucking sheriff niggas, I'm fucking you up, nigga. He be like, man, I got you, nigga. I got you, nigga. That's just gonna be me. I know I don't look like that. I know I'm not like this. I'm talking about in a jail situation. Me locked up in jail with Diddy. Instant gangsterism. It had to be like that. Because that's just what I know. I'm not gonna be in there like, man, sing it, do the Harlem Shake, nigga. Hey, he doing the Harlem Shake in this bitch, that motherfucker, boy. No, I'm in that bitch. I'm dude in the corner while he Harlem shaking like, I gotta holler at that nigga, man. Hey, Diddy, let me holler at you real quick, man. Hey, come here, let me holler at you real quick, nigga. That's me. I gotta walk over here and holler at this whole ass nigga. Let me holler at you, man. No. Before you go, look. I thought I told you I'm gonna need that, man. Why you making me wait? Cause what's the name got on already? You making me wait, nigga. You think I'm finna fucking wait like this? Come here, bitch ass nigga. And then he'd been like, man, I got you. I swear to God, man. I swear to God. I swear to God. So that's what his situation gonna probably be like. And I ain't even really like that. I'm just saying that the prison situation, I'm locked in the jail. I can't leave. I am locked up. It's you not understanding me. I'm not sitting in a room chilling with the AC and all this juice and shit. No, I'm talking about locked up. I've been eating fucked up potato chips, bogus ass food, and then a billionaire coming this bitch. And I'm sitting back like, ding, 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 ding. Oh, shit. That nigga over there? Oh, okay, bet. Know what tomorrow gonna be like. And then it's gonna happen. So you gotta figure out what kind of motherfucker you are. But I'm just saying if that, and so it's probably some people in there on him like that right now. And that's a fact. And they just know how to keep it low key. And they just know how to be like, hey, just look at this shit as protection. Ain't nobody finna run up on you. Ain't nobody finna play with you in here. But goddamn it. This nigga pop over here all the time with that Joe Biden shit. They gonna say, Unc, how many freak offs you did? Hey, Playboy, do not get me arrested on this thing, man. I'm just trying to do some Googling with YouTubing. All right. They said this is how you talk to the people. All right. So don't put me in no situation like that, because Caucasians say everything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. I do know that much. I do know that much. And at the end of the day, I ain't got no $1 billion. So even if I did do it, I can't give none of them motherfuckers no what they call that shit when they sue you, I don't know what the fuck, restitution. I can't get none of their ass that shit. They gonna pop up and be like, hey, so you guilty now? We wanna take him to court, and my girl gonna give him a whole box of Jordans and shit. Like, hey, he got these. He bought these that day he was out hustling in front of Nike. She gonna bring him a gang of Jordans and shit. Like, yeah, hey, he got these right here. We was in New York. He went to Brooklyn. He bought these. He don't wear these no more. That's how the fuck they gonna get. Some fucking, I'm black, so all I got is my motherfucking assets is Jordan, motherfucker. Jordan shoes, nigga. That's how you rich in the hood. What kind of Jordans you rocking? So goddamn it, but that nigga Diddy, he supposed to been I don't know, man. I probably would have been trying to date a black girl myself. I would not have been with all them other cultures. I'm sorry. That's just me. That would have scared the shit out of me. And I ain't saying I wouldn't have had fun or experienced it, but 11 years, ain't no fucking way. I would have been with no other girl other than a black woman. 11 fucking years. No way. I couldn't even imagine no shit like that. I'd be like, I mean, I know you rich and I know that, but they'd probably say some shit to me or do some shit or even bring some food around and I'd be like, what the fuck? Because just this different cultural shit. And it's like I'm just a black motherfucker. So I like being a black motherfucker. So when it comes to girls, I'm going to see them a little bit more attractive than another cultural female. That's just me. And there's some bad bitches in the world, so don't get me twisted. Like, I'm just going to walk around and be like, no, you're not a black bitch. Keep your titties in. Nah, that's not going to happen. But what's going to happen is, most likely, if I'm with a girl long term, let me say he wasted his money on baby oil. Hey, but look, that's not illegal. See, that's again, go back to that point I was making about about humiliation. It's not illegal to buy baby oil. It's not illegal to have the KY gel or whatever the fuck people into. It's bogus to put somebody's personal sexual information out there. If this nigga like however the fuck he like it, they supposed to add that nigga to the LGBT sign. It's so as far as I'm concerned, instead of dissing Diddy, it's supposed to be LGBT Diddy. That's what it's supposed to say. It's supposed to now we understand, now we got it. It's probably a lot of motherfuckers in the world that kick it like him. That probably ain't got the money, but they just as fucking freaky. And it's like, okay, LGBT Diddy. Why the fuck they didn't do that? Because everybody else that's got some sexual thing that's not we want to call normal, they just throw their ass on the fucking list. Every couple of months they throwing another letter out there. But when they come to Diddy, they say no. Yep. Yanked it. My man, you said it, Eric. They said yanked his ass. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. That nigga, yep. That's a fact. Because that was his personal environment. If you got the money and you bring in the girls who you like and the girls who you hang with, and y'all decide that they gonna call their boyfriends who they like, who fucking everybody grown, everybody above age, they hitting the nigga with a couple of dollars, but it's crazy. But it's crazy, man. Sandboy Man said, well, it's not about the oil. It's about the victims that claim they got touched. Well, how you going to be a victim and you 30? How somebody going to touch you and you fucking 27? You grown in a motherfucker. You can literally walk your big head ass up out the motherfucking people mansion and go the fuck on about your business. But if you like caviar, I mean, if you like traveling, if you like motherfucking sitting in motherfucking cars with a motherfucker driving you places and it's AC blowing, you got your shades on and shit, the windows up, can't nobody see it's you. These are things that come along with being around somebody who's victimizing you or hurting you. But they become also a choice. They become a choice. They become a wake up in the morning, decide. They come a wake up in the morning, okay, I know what I'm doing today. Oh, I'm woke, bow, okay, new day, bet, I'm going over here. You can't, yeah, they probably did get drugged because if you're using a lot of goddamn drugs, your ass gonna probably feel like you drugged. Because nobody said that they didn't use drugs, Sam Boy. Everybody said they, sad boy, everybody said they was getting drugs. So that mean what? We was all getting high. Now, if your ass got higher than me, that don't mean I gave you shit funky. Motherfucker, it's the drugs. We all using shit. I don't know what the fuck is in this shit. I'm using it just like you. So you can't be a victim if you doing the behavior. It's come on. That's not, nobody's gonna believe that. You're doing an active behavior. How the fuck are you a victim? That can't happen. You gotta be a person who's being against their will. You gotta be a person whose shit is popped up on for the first time and you didn't know it was gonna happen. You gotta be a person who's taken to a location you didn't know what the fuck it was. But you can't be a victim if you're a part of every goddamn thing and then there's one part you don't like and then all of a sudden everything else was wrong. And then if you was a victim, what the hell are you popping back up for? Why would you go back out of town with somebody who did some kind of essay against you? Why would you show up to their house? Why would you come to their car? Why would you let them pay your rent? Why would they have anything to do with you if you're a grown-ass person and they doing victimization type attitudes towards you? It's no fucking rhyme or reason. So we all got to believe that P. Diddy only fuck with mentally handicapped people who really not smart with the same aptitude as the regular person that decide, I don't like what's happening to me, I'm going to leave. He dealing with people with further mental damage, and they just be like, yeah, no matter what happened, I want to stand next to you. Jump in traffic and get hit by this bus, okay. Who the fuck do that? No, people grown as hell, and they decided to go and do what the fuck they wanted to do. They went to somebody's crib who might have disrespected them or got loud. We've all been around people who said the wrong thing to us. who been made us feel uncomfortable about how their attitude was, who made us feel uncomfortable about their personality. We've all had that experience in our life, and you have a choice at that point. You don't fucking propose to the person. You don't fucking see if you can go on a double date with the person. You don't see if you can fucking make sure that y'all see it, check y'all genitals to see if it's the same. You actually get the fuck away from them. You get out the car and walk. You walk away. You leave. You say that's my last day. And matter of fact, this how you know why Hillary Clinton didn't become the fucking president, because she stayed with the motherfucker who cheated on her. And every fucking song since the beginning of music is about how you walk out on the motherfucker who treats you wrong. Put your best shoes on, put on your red, whatever the fuck they call it. So if a person is staying around this shit, you're only gonna look stupid. You're only gonna look dumb, and ain't nobody gonna have pity on you. Nobody gonna have no pity on you if you running your ass in traffic and you see his cars coming. Nobody finna have pity on you if you walk in somebody's house and cut the stove on and just put your hand under the fucking fire. They're gonna imagine that you already understood that that shit's gonna burn you. They're gonna imagine that if you jump your ass in traffic, you're gonna get hit and fuck your hips up. Nobody's gonna look at you and have to train your big grown ass at 29 and 30 fucking 24 years old. If you are in a bad situation and somebody treating you wrong and you continue to stay, we all have to look at it like reality. You like it there. You're comfortable there. This is your type of fun. You're not me. I'm not you. I can't fucking tell you what to like and don't like. If you stay around some shit that's uncomfortable, the idea is that you like it. Now, white people take take the person to court and hold them down and ask him all these stupid ass questions. That still don't absolve the fact that you stayed around somebody 11 motherfucking years, taking all kind of damage that they putting out, but you was okay with it. Nobody finna look at you like no victim in that regard. It can't. You know what I'm saying? That's why my man say he touching special people. That's some bullshit. That's true. These motherfuckers over there wanting to be touched. Bitch coming over there in a sexy outfit talking about some, I hope he don't do it again. What the fuck? You got a lace shit on from head to toe. No panties. And you walk into this motherfucker like, I'm just going to sit here and mind my business. What the fuck? That shit don't even make sense. You know damn well that you came over there for the freak fest, for the sexual fun, and you popped up in that bitch and you got what you wanted. And not alone did you get, because nobody talked about all the dope shit Diddy was doing. You know, imagine you doing freak offs, this nigga bringing food. He got your favorite shit. Hey, we got your pizza over here and shit. That you want mushrooms? You that motherfucker freaking out for you like, oh shit, let me go over here. This nigga brought my favorite pizza. They ain't even talking about all this shit like that. He get freak offs happening. He be like, look, I'm gonna take you over here and buy you this car. Bam, that's yours. You like, oh shit, I'm gonna pay your rent for the next 2 years. Okay, what the fuck? You benefiting from it. They don't want to bring that up in court because they look at it like a billionaire's around you. So some of this shit is self-explanatory. He's supposed to be giving you money. He's supposed to be layering you with things. But is he really? Do he really supposed to be doing this shit? If they just freaking, if they just having a sexual moment, these people want to feel like somebody that's doing sexual shit with them deserve to pay them for their time around them. My man say, sad boy said, what fucks me up is his bodyguard who claimed Diddy R-word him 2013, and they brushed it off until now. Right. Now, how that happened? Now, you talking about a dude? Dude, you could have went to anybody and told, you could have literally went to one of them tabloids that you see when you in this little store buying food and shit and said, Diddy bodyguard touched her inappropriately. You could have fucking said anything. But come on, now we put. But see, again, like the closing arguments when his lawyer, Agnifilo, said, this is a money grab. They're waiting to this to be over so all of their lawyers can file motherfucking civil cases. And that means Diddy is going to be sitting in the back before he can even imagine, I got convicted. Oh my God, I'm convicted. They're going to have paperwork in saying, hey, it's a conviction. Here's the form. Here's the legal form from the government showing that they convicted him in a federal case. I'm putting my form in for my damn civil suit. And now before he even get this, to file his motherfucking suit for an appeal, he got to go over there and deal with that. People are suing him. And then I'm going to tell you how America works. Conviction means now a place like Atlanta or Miami could charge him with the same type of crimes because he's a billionaire. That means he was traveling state to city all the time. So now they could charge him with the same shit in different towns because he got convicted on this. Now you see somebody in Michigan saying, "Oh, Diddy and me, we had a date," and it's another security guy who he met one weekend and shit, hung out with him. Yeah, man, that one weekend we was down here in Cincinnati, and this is America. This is America. Yeah. Yup, you gotta. Eric Sachs, you need to be on some comedy, dude, because you're killing the game. He said he did. He said he R-word everybody. R-wording everybody. And wasn't nobody safe. He got a hold of boy Diddy. Yeah, it's crazy. But I don't believe none of all that stuff. And then I do believe that. I still believe the anonymity of your personal life. Like if you are a person that do that, if you don't do that, that's not nobody business. We don't know that about everybody. We don't know that about the regular lady or man or even somebody in our own stuff. We don't know that about each other. So to walk around the city with all this knowledge about Diddy's sexual world is crazy. Yeah, they should have. That's crazy. Yeah, they put the R word out there. They doing that, Stoner. Yep. It's crazy though, but it do just let you know that that if you did it, you need. I don't know if he need to be free though because I think that he don't know another world other than entertainment. I don't think he know another world. These was one of the participants. And they showed up on schedule. That's facts. Yep, they did. Yep. Number four was popping. Yeah, they did. They came there and they wanted what he was giving out, and he was rich. He can afford things. I mean, it's much to dangle in somebody's face. You know, they pop up to your mansion and they thinking that my career is going to do something, and you like, I need you to take all your clothes off and go in the room. They're probably going to do it. They're probably going to say, okay, well, fuck it. You know, I'm just going to do this. It's only me out here. Nobody know I'm doing this. And somebody that's a weaker brain is probably going to do it. But I don't know if Diddy was doing that because it looked like he was just really running up on these chicks, which was his personal girlfriends. So that mean that he, you know, the one girl, which is the old boy, 50 Cent baby mother, she was on some shit like she's still in love with him. She's saying, I love him still. He paying my rent right now. She on court dissing him. I mean, I guess testifying against him, but he's still paying her rent right now. It's facts. Stoners say it's better to do your research and be right and exact versus spreading misinformation. Yeah, that would be the dopest move to kind of figure out what's going on with all that. But hey, she was the girl was putting she had embarrassed old boy Diddy 50 Cent so bad because 50 Cent really do not like Diddy, and every time you hear him talking, he always all he talk about is how he hate him and how he think he gay and this that and the other. And but when you see ultimately why that he hated him, that he was dating his woman, that's crazy. Oh man, I bet you he do, Eric. I ain't gonna lie, I bet you he do, cause niggas in there and be like, nah, nigga, don't turn down now. Don't turn. You in here with us now. Don't turn down now. What's this freak out shit they talking about? What y'all really be on? What y'all really be on? He said Eric is a troll. Right, them words, right. That shit funny. Yeah, but look, that they said cut what's the tabloid said they said because he had broke up with his Ciroc deal. Yeah, yeah, I heard that. I heard that too. That was a real big deal that came down the pipeline on him. So you know, but again, that's really just stop not having no girls, not having no black folks around you. See, in a black culture, let me hit y'all with some little history lesson information. Black people are inventors. So a majority of the things that we see and even showers, something as basic as that, came from the Moors. You say I'm a troll living under a bridge, I ask rivers and eat goats. It's mine. This nigga going crazy. Look, black people were inventors. So if he would have took that money and put it in towards something that would help invent something, and he was utilizing that money to do like I don't know, electric cars, flying. You got $1 billion. This is so many smart motherfuckers all the way in Nigeria. All these people who creating things, and you could put that money behind it to build it up. That's why they put people like him under this type of scrutiny because you're not utilizing the money for nothing. Flying bitches around getting your dick sucked. Come on, this is the basic. This is like human basicness. Like you, if you had to be a fucking caveman for that to be the only thing you're doing with $1 billion, this is what Diddy going through. Now he did build things. He got the company, the clothing line, the records. He got the alcohol. But each one of these things are intertwined with whiteness. He's not building shit on his own. You got billions of dollars. You haven't built nothing. You put your money in some university. You put some money in some school in these other countries or in these other cities. Your own hometown in New York, choirs, whatever they call them, or New York school boards of choir, whatever they call it. And I'm not saying it's that. Maybe he heard he had some college, some school up there for young black kids to graduate. I'm saying that building a product or a business or a thing with your money that's going to be sustaining. Diddy didn't do that. Jay-Z didn't do that. All these guys are making investment. They're investors. There's nothing wrong with that. But they're not building. So that as soon as the people come to you, like for instance, Michael Jackson, he has such a big strength in the game, he became half owner of Sony. But what if you just became 100% owner of your shit? And then you're not in the bed with them. And anything that they want, give it to them. Get the fuck out of my face. Because why? You're the creator. You're the inventor. Whatever the fuck they want is money. Is money involved. You can go get the money because you're a fucking inventor. So you hear Dame Dash crashed and burned and his situation gone where he don't have no money, he getting sued. But Dame is not worried. And nobody that's a fan of Dame is worried because he's an inventor. So the fact that he invented the streaming platform and all that shit, which is a fact that they could come at him and say, I want that, all came from his brain. So that means, okay, cool, now I'll invent another one. And I'll invent one even bigger than that because it's making y'all motherfuckers want it to pay off some old debt. Okay, bet, let's do it. So sometimes you have to use your brain. They not using their brain. You sitting up here just freaking bitches. You don't even freak your own girls. Then you disrespecting the girls. You're not even in a position where you sitting back like a king with 7 girls around you like they do in the movies. You getting a bitch smacking her, choking her out, disrespecting them. You know what I'm saying? For whatever your reasons are, it's not what smart people do. You know what I'm saying? You taking this money that you got, you putting it towards this. He said he was trying to build a black, what they call it, like the Democrats, Republican, but it was gonna be like a one for only black people. As soon as he made that announcement, his ass got locked up. So he was saying some shit like that, but he wasn't doing it smart enough. Sad Boy said, he was D-boy on other record labels. He could have been in the early years, but you know, all that's over with now. You got streaming in the game. So everybody is their own independent guy. So you can almost see that because they got things like, for instance, they was using a person like Diddy to go to the hood and meet somebody like you or meet somebody like me who do rap and we doing it good at this shit. Diddy is our A&R. Diddy is our connector. So instead of him just being an A&R, he opened his own company. So now he'll get a percentage of what he gives to them. So they're going to ultimately be the record company, but they're going to go through him. He's going to get a percentage, boom, boom, boom. You understand the game? So now Diddy making all this money and he's succeeding and he's very successful. But you don't need him no more because streaming is here, which means me and you, we could put our music up ourselves. They don't have to seek me out. They don't have to send somebody to my hood and walk around with me or pull up in a mansion car or Rolls Royce or whatever and then make me feel like, oh my God, I need to sign a record deal. They can just put the shit up on the radio, look at my little hood video I did in my garage with my homies and be like, oh, you know what? We want to contact you. So it's no need for Diddy no more. We don't need you here. So that's why he can go and get in the the alcohol industry and go do something there because that's just an open hole for anybody. You got money, you can go sell liquor. It's enough motherfuckers that drink alcohol. That's since the prohibition time. So now that's a good hustle for you. But he keep dabbling over here in a limelight. He keep fucking around over here like, hey, y'all, you know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to get everybody, we're going to have a big old thing. Like, hey, dude, sit your ass down. Go on the fuck on. Why? Because we don't need you no more. And you can't understand that the only reason why you was in this game is because you was needed. You wasn't in this game because you was cold. You wasn't in this game because you was smart. You wasn't in this game because you was the man. You was in this game because we needed you. Now we don't need you. It's streaming. It's straight to the fucking platforms. We don't give a fuck who you are. So he's jumped in the game, still trying to be the man, still trying to be in the mix. Yo, what's up, man? I'm at the party. Yo, look at me, y'all, bitch. I'm with Kevin Hart. Look at me. No, sit your ass. You 55, nigga. You 53, what the fuck you doing? It's okay if you 53 and you just starting out, but you've been in the game 30 fucking years, nigga. You went through the 20 to the 90s. You went through the fucking 2000s to 2010s. Now we in the 2020s. It's like they not catching on. They not catching on. So when a white man he ain't gonna come tell you, he ain't gonna call your phone, you need to sit down. He just gonna show you. And then it's like, boom. It took a long time for that fucking trick to play out, didn't it? You really thought you was you thought you made decisions. You thought you was somebody who people had to listen to. You was what they call a gatekeeper or whatever the fuck. No, nigga. You just dumb. She said I heard about that too. That the let's say his mother was doing free calls. But you know, people to throw your whole camp under the ground when it's somebody like this. And you know why they doing that to her. Because she gonna inherit his money. So if they don't just demortify her name, then she'll be able to make moves. She'll be able to still do business behind the scenes while he's sitting his ass in the beam. So they got to make her seem like, no, we can't be associated with you, man, because ultimately they said you was doing freak offs. And they said, it's all about that. Really, I'm going to tell y'all what I believe. They're going to try to kill that nigga in jail. I believe that. I believe he going to get in prison. He going to get locked up. They're going to try to kill him. That's my opinion. I believe that he gonna go down into the cell and he gonna be up in that bitch for a while, and then they gonna try to kill him because they're gonna come after that money. They're gonna come after those publishings. They're gonna come after. You gotta think all those musicians who he had ownership of. He had ownerships in their publishing. Yeah. R. Kelly the same way. They're gonna come after these guys. R. Kelly got songs with Michael Jackson. He got I Believe I Can Fly. These are publishers that'll pay for your free. Music is something different, man. I never really made music, but as I got older and I started rocking with a boy, Steve O. Stone, and he started showing me the music game, you realize how much music can take care of people. Music is the fastest way to make money. It's almost like you see your friends grow up, and then they start cutting hair. And you be like, damn, you cut hair? Yeah, because that's the fastest buck. Everybody want to look good. I'll cut hair. Oh, damn, I guess that's smart. Fuck it, cut my hair. So my point about it is that you start realizing that people start getting hustles. So if you can sing and do that shit and then make music and it's melodic and people fuck with you, you can take care of your family off of one song. And it's so easy. It takes like one day to make a damn song. You can make more than one song in one day. So somebody like him, yeah, so this is a way for you to hustle. You see the hustles. So for Diddy to find a hustle to be able to be like, I'm going to bring you record labels, all of the people who I believe is going to be the next one up. And then it worked. I remember when the Locks went over there and got with Diddy because they was trying to blow up just like anybody else. And then it worked. They was just some underground niggas singing underground rap. It was not even like on the radio like that. And then they got with Diddy and then the songs came out. It was like, God damn, the biggest songs too. It wasn't even like they was little. I'm talking about they was playing this shit at the fucking football games. Like they was not little bitty songs. They was the biggest fucking songs. They used to call that shit the remix. Like Diddy was remixing songs. He was taking songs from the 80s, obviously, and putting it in the music today. And it was just like we didn't listen to that shit back in the 80s. We was little kids. But obviously they put it together today. In that time, we was loving that shit. So you just couldn't see him sticking around 30 years. I don't even think that's a problem because some people who work jobs and shit that be there 30, 40 years, they call that seniority. They don't even call that a bad thing. But in the entertainment business, maybe you break a lot of eggs on people, or maybe you fuck up a lot of bridges and shit, and then it just be, or maybe it's just a new regime. It's a new young people around. It's everybody different today. So they looking at you and being like, why we keep looking at this nigga? And I can remember being a kid, like a kid. And your parents be talking about, oh, I love Sammy Davis Jr. Oh, I love Sammy Davis Jr. And you be like, oh, okay, yeah, Sammy Davis Jr. Yeah, that's dope. Wisconsin, what's up? Yep, India, what's popping? So we see that and we just be like, oh, okay, well, these guys are really successful and smart. You know what I'm saying? But really what you realize is that these guys be making some mistakes and they be closing some doors that they probably shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. They shouldn't be doing that. And so this is why, you kind of out. I remember when Jordan was playing and then he had 1, 3 in a row and then 3 in a row. So that following year, I'm young. I'm like, woo, I'm about to watch this shit. And then they said he retired again. He stopped. Or he got transferred to some other state. And it was like, what the fuck would they do to? Oh, man, it was just tore Chicago up. It was like, we the winning this champ. Why won't they just let it keep going? Well, you're thinking about it, without even somebody telling you, and you're like, well, technically, if it's 29 basketball teams, other people want to win, and they just can't make all the money come to Chicago because that means ain't nobody gonna want to show up in their cities unless Michael Jordan's showing up to play. So they got to switch up the regime, change everything around, make somebody else fancy free and new, and get rid of the old guy. And that's the system of business. It's not even like Jordan can feel funny. And it's almost like, okay, Jordan, if you the shit, then go over here and do it over there. Well, he couldn't because it's all new people. He ain't got his old team. Everything changed. So he just became an old man and he retired, got the fuck on out the way. But he still kept his respectability from the time when he was doing his thing. But, my point about it is that he understood that you got to gracefully bow out. And I think that Diddy not being able to understand that or see that, he got 7 kids. 6 kids, and you ain't even been able to have a chance to raise them because you've been doing your business. When do it stop? When do you check yourself and say, you know what? Let me go be with my babies. Let me go raise them. And they ain't saying that he wasn't doing that before they grabbed him. He could have just easily been doing that. But you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, He put himself in a scenario where these people get to decide for you your fate. That's something everybody should catch on to. That's something everybody should learn from. Who are you going to set up to decide your fate? Because that's what's going on now. The verdict watch is off of one thing, and I'm going to look it up to see if anything happened thus far. But that's really the biggest gist of everything. It's who you going to let decide your life. When you wake up in the morning, you have a chance to let nobody decide your life. And then you have a chance to let other people decide your life. Who is that going to be? The police? The person who pissed you off at the Jiffy Lube? The motherfucker who is your job? You know, your girl, your guy, whoever. Other people, your kids. You know what I'm saying? People have ways to control your life, but you are also every second in control. So you got to kind of figure out who you're going to let do it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I think that's what everybody say, that P. Diddy, Eric, pissed somebody off in back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, and that's true too. Like somebody like Snoop, who's been around for fucking 40 years, but like you said, where is the fucking big mansion thing? Where's the Snoop Dogg plane? Like we know this nigga got shit like that, but he don't put that out there like that. He be smoking weed in the studio with motherfuckers or standing next to some artist that's trying to come up, but he do not do the opulent game. He don't walk around. But this nigga been hanging with Martha Stewart. You know he got mansions so fucking big in different states that you don't even. I don't know why that nigga don't do that. But other guys don't. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, that's true too. Cause that would have came out. That would have came out if he was. But he got a family, and that's another thing that Diddy didn't do. That's a large one. Other people, by the time you 50 something, you done found you a bro. It's just no way you gonna be that lonely. It's no way you're gonna be that lonely by the time you 50. Come on, that's a different level. Now, 50, now you could be lonely when you 30 something, 40 something, but by the time you 50, you found somebody that's gonna hang out with you and laugh with you and do shit with you. That's just no way you have it. Now that's a broke person who ain't got nothing. A person with a million billion, you definitely found somebody about 50 years old. So if you're still dealing with a girl who's 17 years younger than you basically are Kim. That's how the country look at it, even though it's not that she was underage. They still look at it as unbalanced. Or I think they were in a Christian world, uneven yoked. How you gonna be judged when Kelly was 22 years old? He still went to jail, and that P Diddy girlfriend, 30, whatever, he 50 something though. You 17 years younger than her, older than her. So people just looking at her like, no, we can't do it. We ain't going. We are not going. So you looking like a person that can't find your own speed. You can't. Your money can't even get you a good girl for you. Because think about this. His money is becomes or it had became a detriment. So now you're using your money for evil. You know what I'm saying? You can't use your money to uplift. You ain't using your money to help people. You ain't using the money to build these people up. The girl kept saying, I thought he was going to help me with my singing career, and he kept blocking me. That's the shit that's going to get him locked up. This the shit that's going to get him locked up. When the girl kept saying he was supposed to do shit with my music, he wouldn't do it. He was focused on other shit. He couldn't do it. He kept telling me this ain't the right time. That's the shit that's going to get him locked up because you have ultimate power in the music industry. It's easy for you to do just a one-on-one concert for this girl and put her up and give her a chance. But the reason why you're probably not doing that is because you got her doing this little sexual shit with you and you ain't really trying to put her out there like that because what if she blow up and get big? Now she ain't gonna want to do it no demo. It's all this stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did make it look fucked up, man. He said he was a black mogul, so that's why he was framed. Yo, I don't know. He said he got me lagging on that. Let me see. No information on Diddy yet. But he said it got me nagging on in there. Let me see. Oh no, that got me lagging on that. Let me see. Yeah, it sure is. But what can you say? You know what I'm saying? It's not my computer. I don't own YouTube yet. Yet. I'll be owning it in a few years. Y'all just keep watching this, show this, watch this, share it, like all that good shit. And then I'll be the owner of YouTube and y'all be the owners with me. So the good thing about it is that when you Diddy had a thing called self-belief, man. And that was one thing about uh made him very successful because he was able to. That's why I say, is he gonna have problems in jail? Probably not, because he was rolling around street dudes the whole time. That's what he was bringing to the industry. He was going to the hoods and bringing street niggas to the industry, and that's what helped him become successful. You know what I'm saying? And I think that priority of putting so much effort into being a successful rapper, he's not going to have no real problems in jail because he know how to navigate. Now, does he want to be in jail? Are they going to give him the biggest jail cell in that bitch? Probably not. They're going to try to probably make it real fucked up for him because they know he's rich and they know he's financially straight and financially free. So I believe that them playing him on some, you know, sitting down waiting on his verdict, because I believe that they're going to try to stretch his verdict until after the 4th. They're not gonna do nothing now because Diddy makes money. Diddy makes people money, and it's, you got to see how much news outlets is really talking about this and putting out so much information, and then everybody's on the side of the victims and shit. That's like the whole idea of talking points today, because whoever listening to you might be somebody who want to, I don't know what kind of shit they probably fit in with, but that's probably what a lot of people are doing. They're trying to make sure that they do the right thing or say the right thing, and a lot of this shit is going on right there on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and the people still might be doing that too, when seeing can they get a record deal from him. You know, because think about it, if he don't go to jail, he's back on. He's back on, and this nigga was not at the low parts. He was not at the trying. He was not at the low thing. Diddy was not there. He was not at the can't wait one of these days. He is the top of the food chain. They basically took down the lion in the jungle. They basically took down the general, the top dude, the president of music. This is it. Because remember when Michael Jackson and them was doing, y'all probably don't remember, but when Michael Jackson and Prince and all of them was doing, they think they was on top. But it took people like Diddy and all these guys to bring hip-hop in at a straw, because hip-hop was different. Before Diddy came in, hip-hop was a little different. It was like Rob Bass, you know what I'm saying? It was Kumo D. It was different. KRS-One. It was different. It was more of an older guy thing. Like the guys who rap was like 34-ish or 28-ish. They wasn't young like a Diddy. You know what I mean? And then when he came with Craig Mack and you know, he came out with Jodeci, Father MC. He came out with Mary J. They were young. They were under 25. And so that's another thing that made us latch on to those artists, because most of the artists was older guys. They was like LL Cool J. You know what I mean? Like older guys, Ice-T. They wasn't really young like that. You know what I'm saying? And the guys that was really young, you didn't hear them on the radio like that. They was like, you know, you would hear like, what's that guy? He used to sing Wild Thing. I forgot his name right now. But and then his brother was the younger rapper named Young MC. So people were trying to lock in on Young MC because he was younger. So most of the rappers was just a little bit older than us. My posse on Broadway, Sir Mix-a-Lot, they were still just an older group of dudes. They were successful, but they was older than my gen. So then when you started getting the younger rappers, what was younger, and that's when it flipped. That's when everybody, because this is another thing that y'all don't really capture, because you wasn't at that time. Everybody started dressing like Diddy. So that's how everybody looked like that now, which is probably what they dressed like in New York, where it was no internet. It was no photos. You know, he was the nigga on TV. He was the nigga dancing in the videos. So everybody started dressing like him. Matter of fact, when he came out with Jodeci, they started dressing like him. Everybody had the baggy pants on with the black boots. I went and bought all that shit if I could afford it, which I couldn't. And the blue jean jacket and shit, and everybody was dressed like that. So Diddy didn't just come with music, he came with a whole dress. Just like y'all remember when y'all era, Kanye West did that. He came with the dress and with the button up and all that old college dropout shit, and then the whole fucking country started doing that. But before that, 20 years, before he was even out here, Diddy did that. And you could know I'm not kidding. You know I'm not fucking telling you a lie, because Diddy came out with the clothing line called Sean John. And that was in Macy's and all of the high-end stores. That wasn't in, like, you couldn't get that from the Arabs and the Chinese stores. You had to go to the bougie stores to get that. So when we was watching Diddy doing that kind of shit, putting in a new look in the hip-hop with the baggy pants and the motherfucker, and it's to this day. Motherfuckers still dressed like that. Now that the internet is here, you could look and say, oh, so all New York niggas was dressing like that. We didn't really see it like that, because the only thing you saw was the music videos. And when the music videos came, they was like, cut away. They wasn't on the main channel. You had to find it in the hip-hop station. They were only playing for an hour, so they only curated so many groups that came out in that time. And if you liked the group, they probably didn't play them again. You know what I'm saying? It would be like a guy named Kwame, because that's how it was switching. It was the guys, they wasn't really like wearing jeans and boots. They was wearing different kind of Playboy clothes, like the polka dot look. The haircut was different. It was a different thing in hip-hop at that time. So when Diddy came with the look of the urban dude, which you know today, with the baggy pants and the Timberland boots, that took over. And it's still sustained, because everybody had music videos and was trying to do music, but the person who you saw the most was Diddy. That's who was really doing it. He came out with Total, the singing group, and they was going crazy and shit. They was dressed like him too, but they was females. You know what I'm saying? So it had just became a big ass thing. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah. Well, anyway, man, I just agree with how I remember his legacy being when I was young. So now today, obviously things changed to so great degree because Diddy wasn't even rapping at that time, and we knew who. This is what made it all so funny. He wasn't even rapping at that time. It took years for him to come out with a rap album, maybe a few more years than when we had maybe 96, 97, when you started hearing Diddy actually make songs. Maybe a little something after that. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like he was all the time making music like songs and shit. But then when he did do it, I don't know what year it was. No, that's the first one that came out. But I do remember he had like a twist on of it. I don't know if it was like Straight from Paris or it was Train to Paris. I forgot what that album was. I can't remember, so don't quote me. However, when it did drop, it hit such a big ass thing, and I was real grateful for that because I was really a fucking fan of that dude, man. You know what I'm saying? And then watching him doing his trajectory of becoming a billionaire, it just leaves you to wanting to have that same kind of success. So to be able to go in those rooms and have conversations with white people that ultimately end in you saying, getting a contract with money going to your bank account. Whereas I go to a job interview and I go and talk to the white people, and then ultimately you never hear from their ass again. You be like, what the fuck? How did I say something? How did that go wrong? But you really just try to pay your fucking rent. So for a black dude to be able to go in those rooms and talk to those white people and then get a fucking check at the end, and it's like cha-ching in your bank account, and then you doing something you love. You ain't even like at no building and shit, sweeping water. You ain't hanging on some shit, pulling your body up or running fast or having to stop a bunch of people from coming somewhere. You just fucking get to do what you like to do. You go in the studio, you make music, you chill, you drink, you hang out, you go get other people and shit, all come together and make sounds and shit, and you make your money. So it's not easy to be able to be a person like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's different. It is. I ain't gonna lie, it is different because I was thinking about that too. I said every mogul from when I was in my 20s, which was people we would look up to, obviously, because you can't know the future. In my 20s, all of them in jail. Every single one. The moguls. I'm saying they got Suge Knight in jail. They got Kelly in jail. They got Diddy in jail. Like, and I bet you, Jay-Z gonna be next because I just heard Busby won some kind of appeal on him where he was saying, no, I can practice and shit, I can sue you or something like that. I was just hearing earlier today, and it just lets you know that they not sliding, they not letting people slip through. It's like, if you rich to that extent, and that's why I keep saying it's what you use your money for. If these guys was putting their money into inventions, like for instance, when Jay-Z can't put money into Uber, well, Uber became what it is today. This is big, great moves. Or when Nas could put money into Coinbase, well, Coinbase became what it is today. But what if they was putting money into things that they knew about, they was helping bring about, they was a part of the growth of these things, or the beginning of these things, or the start, the inception. And they was the seed givers. They was the ones who put the money behind these inventions that could change the world. That could change the fucking world. Like the shoe lasting machine by Mr. Met Zeliger. And it's a black dude, which they ultimately sold his machine, which was putting soles on fucking shoes. And that's how we making shoes today. He got like $40,000 for his invention. You know what I'm saying? But now you got shoe companies that's making billions of dollars every fucking year off of an invention. And now it's not no time for people. They won't be stealing your inventions no more today. They're not going to be taking your invention and running off with them. Not today. All that shit going to be recorded and you good. You know what I'm saying? So if these guys would put money into things that would grow the culture or would grow the world, it would be way better than putting your money in a free cost or guns or fucking baby oil, like all this shit that's not going to fucking do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So now you in court because you had guns in your crib with the serial numbers scratched off. You supposed to be a mogul. What the fuck you need that for? You're supposed to be a mogul, meaning that you pay for a security service to be around you. But technically, you saying that you would shoot this motherfucking gun and kill somebody and just pay somebody to say they did the crime. So it's almost like you own bullshit. You ain't even on the up and up. You ain't even on the up and up. I'm not saying everybody is. I ain't trying to say you got to be some goddamn religious person that follow all the fucking rules. But the reality of it is, you look bogus when they kick your door in and you got the gun sitting over here like that, and you trying to say innocent, innocent. Oh no, let me back out, let me back out. Yo, I need a bond. People don't know you like that, and these are regular humans. So they regular people thinking like, man, we let this nigga out, he gonna try to go over there and kill that girl. We let him out, they gonna try to go over there and do something with that. They regular people. They don't know if your ass like that or not. You know what I'm saying? But that's their job to think like that. Like, nah, you can't come home. You sitting there, you can intimidate people, you a flight risk. They say all kind of foul shit about your motherfucking ass that might not be real. But you sitting up in there and ain't no way home. So I hope the verdict come back where they let him out, but I doubt it. It's too easy for them to be there, said by now, not guilty. It's too easy. They could have walked in that motherfucking bill and walked back and said it's too easy. Yep, I agree too. He gonna probably find religion. You're right. Yeah, he gonna probably find a way to make it through it by finding God. You ain't never lied, boy, because you can't do shit but pray right now. You sitting there and you got all these people making decisions on your life. You can't do nothing but pray. That's all you got is God, because whatever comes down the pipeline is probably not gonna be nice. When they come down that pipeline, it's gonna probably be bad. They're gonna pop dead out and be like, we want to accuse him of being guilty. Yeah, 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 yep. But I would have expected Diddy to probably commit suicide or get killed in jail. If he is convicted, he's not going to survive it because of what they're going to try to hit him with. And then the whole tone of the world is going to change if he gets convicted. It's going to change because we know it's a railroad. We know that he's a mogul. We know he's black. We know all these things. And we know that what they was claiming about him was egregiously stupid. You know, come on, Rico is one thing, and I would have went there and confirmed anything they would have said if it sounded legitimately true with the evidence. But they're claiming the stuff that it was just domestic violence, and he was really shitty towards these girls, and he just did all kind of things that he probably wouldn't have got busted with if he wasn't being a bad boyfriend to them. But having 50 Cent girlfriend as she's not black testify, that looked bad. She look Asian. She look Mexican or Asian. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I agree. He might not. I don't think he would Epstein himself either, because like you said, he might go with God, and that'll keep him straight. But like you said, he could get, you know what I mean, motherfucker come around, run down on him and stab his ass up. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, nah, fuck that. Because think about it. They're gonna make him have a sex crime. So that means in jail, that's a bad thing. It don't matter what your name is. It don't matter what the fuck you're going through. Because the guys that's in jail, they're gonna feel fucked up because they ain't seen their mother, they ain't seen their sisters, they ain't seen their wives, their daughters. So now you walking around here saying, and the claim is that you did something foul to females. So now the whole time you here, they mad at you. People looking at you upside your head, trying to get at you and get angry with you. You gotta probably start getting diesel. You know what I mean? Working out like, man, anybody run up on me, it's on. You know what I'm saying? Or how you gonna pay for protection every damn day? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's gonna be a thing, and they're not gonna let them go home nowhere. Oh man, that'd be bad. Oh man, yeah, because he could probably get to a bougie jail. Yeah, I ain't think about that. They might put him in a bougie jail. Yeah, one of them names, Jared Fogle. I ain't really familiar with everybody like that, but I do know the main cast like Epstein and the Subway guy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know that even at that '70s guy dude, he was an actor and he got popped off for essaying chicks massively, and so they put him down. So it's like they not letting nobody slide. I mean, there's a few people who got accused of all that stuff. That's like, you know, Kevin Spacey, and the other guy that's the comedian. I can't think his name. Forgot his name right now. They all didn't get popped off and locked up. Moonves, all these names, they didn't go to jail. They just basically got their careers taken or got their name kind of, you know, looking bad because, you know, again, you're doing this to females. So it's like no more job. Ain't nobody going to put investments behind you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that. You know what I'm saying? So when you see somebody like Diddy and them, who was such a high level artist and a high level stature, and he's sitting on a verdict watch right now, man, it really is a shock. It really is a shock because Suge Knight, he would have been free. I don't think he would have put himself in a bad predicament, but he got attacked and he ran over a guy with his car. And then when he reversed, he could have just kept going, but he went back forward. And a second time, they look at that as you killed the guy with conscious effort. And so he got popped. They took back some of the time, so he might gonna come home earlier than initially said. But this again was a great time mogul that was doing big shit when I was young, and I think he had raised like $1 billion having all these artists on his group, and then it just went down. So why is that? Why is that? Did Diddy go through all this stuff because he was treating those artists foul and making taking their stuff? You know what I'm saying? What were they doing? What happened to him? Why did all this happen? You know what I'm saying? But he's sitting back. So we got to see what's going on. But I guess if you treat people fucked up, this type of shit can happen. If you're gonna be a bad mogul or a bad big dude, the guy in charge, you better be trying to treat people a little bit better than what you're doing. Because if you don't, we all see the repercussions. We see the results. These people is gonna ride down on you, and they gonna listen to everything that the people say against you. Yep. So right now they saying the jury asked to see the transcripts from the case. They want to go back to different sections of the case so that they can read through it and see exactly what's being played, what was said. But that's gonna be the difference maker right there. I think he gonna beat it. I think he gonna walk up out there. I think he gonna beat it because nothing that they could say could turn it into a RICO. Nothing that they could read could turn it into that he did something. It's just not gonna. It's not gonna be able to sustain. They can't go in there and read something and be like, yeah, see right here, they said he did it. We watched the stuff. They got transcripts. They got people that's like court reporters, and you can read the stuff right on the internet every single day of the trial, every single day since it started. So they go back and they read word for word. Like I watched this guy named Seti Nash, and he does that. He reads every single word on the trial, and at the trial. And by doing that, you get to really gauge what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because he's reading word for word. It's a company on Twitter called Inner City Press. It's a white dude that they let inside the courtroom, and I guess he does this for all kind of cases, but he's in there now dealing with the case with Diddy. So you can get on Inner City Press, which is a YouTube channel, it's a Twitter X channel, and you can read every blow by blow of the trial. And that's how basically a lot of people have been keeping up with it, because he's telling you, what's going on, because he's at the trial. He's in the room, and they taking notes, and then he pop it up on his Twitter. So that's how everything that's coming down the pipeline the whole time with Diddy, people have been learning about it, because they don't allow cameras in the trial. That's not happening no more. So you just don't know that this is available to you. But that's how people have been keeping up with his trial, because we've been seeing it through the lens of that guy who been putting it out there. So we know that when we say that Diddy probably could beat this and go home, it's highly possible. It's highly possible that he could smack this around and get up out of there, and then it just be some fucked up shit happening. But it's not to the point where he has to go sit in prison for a long time, because like I said, I think he'll probably die in there. You know what I'm saying? Isolation. When you go actually to prison, it's a different thing. But Trump, and that's why I made this picture the way I have it up here. Trump said he's going to what's the word? He's going to pardon him, and if Trump pardons him, it's nothing to talk about no more. He can't even be tried again. But the way they'll do it, they'll try to try him again, but it'll probably be in not civil but state court. You know what I'm saying? Because I hope it wouldn't. Because remember, Trump can't pardon a person on a civil case. But will that be double jeopardy? If it's double jeopardy, then they won't come at him again regarding that. He probably had to get came after for taxes or something non related to this particular thing. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like Diddy did a lot for the community and making music and doing stuff like that. I just really feel like he had put a lot out there, and it just seems so crazy to see how easy it is for somebody that's a black dude to get taken down. When, like I just named about 5 other white names that's back to living a life the regular way. You know what I'm saying? And they rich, so they wasn't broke. You know what I'm saying? So they might not be getting new jobs, but if you giving somebody $3 million a year or whatever they was getting paid, they might not necessarily need a new job so much. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we sitting back watching that play out like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, but we gotta see a black guy go down, which leaves a bad taste in a lot of our mouths because it's like, we know the dude probably wasn't perfect, but who is? And then even if he wasn't perfect, what the hell that got to do with him sitting in prison over some girlfriend shit? You know what I'm saying? So, and it leaves us to know that your ass could be next if you get caught up in something, and these people get to put you in some kind of stupid ass situation. You'll be sitting your ass in there. You know what I'm saying? And who want that? Who want to be sitting down, man? It's like I can't want to be sitting down, and I ain't even making that kind of money. Now you give me some caviar and some damn Lamborghini trucks and some fucking big mansions that I own, and I'm gonna be a different guy. Me and my home reality is gonna feel different because I'm rich, and I'm not the kind of rich where I gotta keep showing up to work, or I'm not the kind of rich where I gotta keep answering to folks. I'm literally rich, like my ass living in an affluent world. You know what I'm saying? Now that's true too. Yup. He said he'll get a job in the Trump administration when he become a congressman or eventually President Combs. He'll run for senator of New York. Hey, and he'll probably win. Yup. Yup. Because America love one thing, and you heard this before. They love a comeback story. So if they got you under this type of duress and this type of badness, and you could do something dope like run for mayor or run for a governor, and it hit, man, you win, boy. So that's dope what he just said. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't think of that. I did not think of that because my brain is thinking today. He going to jail. He gonna be locked up. It's gonna be sad. Oh damn, Diddy went to jail, man. They had letter. Oh man. But I do believe that if you look at it like that, then you got to go through the doo-doo to get to the clean side. So you got to go through this. And then when he's a senator here, like you said, now he's trajecting. Now he's trajecting back up. And see, Nick, and people like Diddy, I'm telling you, this is what's in these guys, man. This is what's in these guys. Because I had thought about it for many years myself. I'm like, how the fuck this nigga in a game? I even think about that about Beyonce. I'm like, this bitch been making music since like 1996. It's like 30 fucking years. How the fuck do she sound? But then when you actually see her dancing and see her performing, you're like, oh, okay. So she not bullshitting. She fucking work at this shit. She put in time. You sitting back like, I ate a fucking pizza last week. I don't know how the fuck this bitch jumping up dancing like that. She got her kids dancing with it. It's like she's dedicated to this shit. So it's like you see it. It's like, okay. She work her ass off. But obviously Diddy, you can't see. He behind the scenes nigga, you know what I mean? Is he making beats? Is he doing the songs? You don't know, you know what I'm saying? But then we hear it like this, what he was doing behind the scenes, and it's like, what the fuck? Come on, you was doing what? But it's, again, who the hell know? Who knows what anybody's doing? What anybody's doing when the door closed. So those females who did that, especially Cassie, she's the worst kind of friend. Worst kind of friend. Worst kind of friend. She's basically what I would look at her as is a leech. I would look at her as a leech. I would look at her as a leech because I would say she gonna come over and she gonna suck you dry. Anything you got. She want it. She wants some. And you gonna give it to her because you fuck with her. Yup. 1999 said 26 years. Okay, 99. Okay, bad. Yep. So, but that's still a long time. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fact too, Steve Stoller. If you highlight anybody's sexual life, you'll be shocked at what you'll find. And that's what they call a humiliation program. Because why do we care what Diddy do with some chick? Why do we care what the fuck they both do if they menage? It's so much porn in the world that you see that in. It's you can look at Instagram at any moment and it's a girl doing some shit you couldn't show your mother in a second. Hey, Sniper, you just got here. You got a greedy, old B. You got a greedy, Snipe. Hey, slow down, boy. But yeah, so you know what, you highlight anybody's Martin Luther King. He did all this positive shit, all this black power shit. They ran right around saying that he's actually a freak. Come on. They ran right around saying he was a freak. And y'all know I'm not lying. He ran right. They said Martin Luther King. Oh yeah, that nigga freak. Didn't he? They ran right around saying that nigga is a freak. And we seen him from the time we were children. That's all they talked about with him. MLK. You out here bogus, man. Hey, if they see that, they gonna come at you bogus, man. But you're right. They said that about him. Cause I was a kid. I'm listening like, huh, Martin Luther King had baby mamas, Martin Luther King had girlfriends. Don't know if it's true. This before I was born. So would I know if he was freaking on some female? Hell no, I wouldn't know no shit like that. But is it my business? It ain't even my fucking business because that's him. That, to me, if he was cheating on his woman, that's between him and his girl. We don't know what his lady was like. What's her name? Coretta? We don't know what she was like. She could have been bogus with him. She could have been not trying to bust down. She could have been all kind of shit. She could have been like, he'd be like, man, I'm tired of talking to her, man. Every time I come in the crib, man, I'm been on the road, man, my feet tired and shit up in here, all in my face. We don't know what Diddy was saying, what he was saying to her. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? A lot of his tapes were found on an edited and fake. Yup. See that too? Yup. Coretta, that's how they appreciate that. Yup. And say we smoke blunts like that in UK too. There you go. Get it in over there. I'm gonna be in the UK soon, boy. Man, Stone the Trap. We gonna come out there and do some albums, do some songs for y'all, man. You know what I mean? But and I agree with that though, man. It seemed like that he should have been stronger as a man and held his own. But Diddy should have been stronger, man, because it seemed like now that they got him under this, I'm telling you right now, I cannot see white people letting him go. I can't. I can't see them letting him go, and not on some racial shit, but on some we got you. It's like they say with your hand in a cookie jar or some shit like that. We got you, Chirac. Yo, you know it. UK was popping. Yo, and to me, I believe that they're gonna utilize that as a whipping stick on him and be like, well, since we got you in jail, just go ahead and do 4 years, and then we'll think about, just give us 6 more years. Can you do 7? Do 7, and he gonna be like, what the bitch is you stupid? I'm not doing no fucking time, and that'll be the right thing. But I don't think they're gonna let him out because again, if you got somebody already in custody, you winning. You winning. He can't say shit. You in custody. You caught. You can't say nothing. So that's why I believe ultimately he's going to either he's going to win the case altogether, or he's going to get convicted, and they're gonna probably get a fireball out of him. Yup. Diddy money is their money. Yup, sure is. He gonna a billion. Come on, if you think about that, man. If you had a chance to get $1 billion out of somebody, $1 billion, and it's gonna be something you control, you yourself. I ain't talking about that. You know that they got the people down there, the people down there that's gonna have to control it. You know the folks that gonna watch what you're doing. But ultimately, is your name gonna be on the forums? He say Diddy escape from. They did escape from prison. That'd be funny. Oh man, that'd be so funny, boy. I wouldn't even know what to think. I'd just be like, you did what, nigga? Why would you do that, Diddy? Why would you do that? But they ain't gonna set no scenario like that up for him. You ain't getting out of this one. They gonna look at it like it's better for us to just go ahead and just do what we want to do to you because you can't control yourself. See, they got him like they do a lot of black people, man. They got him on some he can't control his sexual desires. And if you ever know the history of America, that's how they do black people, man. They do the whole you can't control your sexual desire game. And now you running around this motherfucker like, yes, I can. And it's like, no, you can't. You can't control yourself, man. You got these girls out here doing this. And you like, man, to yourself, you a dude. You like, man, fuck these bitches, nigga. And they like, nah, man. Yeah, because that's probably how Diddy was feeling. He probably was like, man, fuck these bros. Man, I'm finna trip on. I don't give a damn how she feel. What I tell you to do, come over here and do what I tell you to do. And that's what they really using on him. Your power. Remember how they been using that on these people when they rich like that? They're using how you using your power on these people. You the most powerful dude in the music industry, and all you doing is freaking on the bros. You don't even give a damn. You ain't got no give a damn. You like, hey, I don't care, boy. Hey, get over here and do what I tell you to do. And when you rich like that, people that do that, man, people that do anything you say. I'm telling you, you could make people mamas do anything you say when you rich like that, man. That's what they doing this for. Again, it's about how are you using the millions? What are you doing with it? So that's what you're doing with it? You just make sure you freak on chicks and make them, okay, cool, that's what we doing with it. And they will bring everybody in there to confess the same thing they thinking. He basically just freaking bros and doing this, man. That's all he doing? Okay, cool. All right. Now you got to go to court and explain why you freaking bros, which is not illegal. That's why it's dumb. Because it ain't illegal. You can do what the hell you want to do. You rich, nigga. I would be mad as hell if I was in court. I wouldn't even be able to. They couldn't even set me in that, man. They'd be sending me back to my cell like, no, you in here wrong, man. You can't do that, man. There's ladies in here, man. Stop. I'd be like, no, fuck y'all, man. This lady here lying against me, man. You know what I'm saying? Yup. I'd pay off the guards too, if I could. I'd be like, man, every day I want this. Hey, Margaret, she say the D rugs is what put him under the cow like that. But I think that's what his lawyers was saying. He got those lawyers, and that's what they were saying. They was trying to say that the D rugs is what everybody was doing. So a lot of times, if you was on D rugs with me, and we was both getting it in, then ain't none of us illegal. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Margie? I'm saying, and that's group. I agree with that because it's only the fact that y'all looking at what's happening right now that y'all trying to come reckless at me when at the end of the day everybody benefited from this. We always over here getting it in. We always over here drinking and smoking. And so it's like, again, everybody wanna point the finger, but everybody was benefiting from it. The dude had money. You know what I'm saying? The dude had money. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you was gonna benefit off of his ass being rich made you stick around. He buying all the fancy food. He flying you every fucking where. He giving you everything you want. What the hell? Who would walk away from that? Ain't nobody finna walk away from that shit. Not nobody with no smarts. So to think that Diddy was gonna go to jail today, a verdict comes through, and it says guilty, and now we gotta wait for the judge to give a sentence. We gotta see, man. Yep, I agree. That's exactly what happened. Because everybody came over there knowing he was gonna have that shit because he using pink shit, weed, coke, whatever the hell they was using, and everybody knowing it's gonna be there, and he has to be there. It be there every time. So he always got it. So why would you not come if you know it's gonna be there? It's like, I'm coming, shit. I know he got that shit over there. You know, it's like your friend throwing a party for the gang. You don't get paid this week. So you know they're gonna have beer and shit and everything or whatever you into, and you be like, well, fuck it. I'm gonna go on ahead over there and shit, just fuck with them. And I sip a few beers and shit, then I head up out of there. But I ain't got no damn money to buy my own this week, yo. Blue Monsters, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, God damn, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what none of that shit is. You know what I'm saying? It's not my world. You know what I'm saying? So I just say, you know, at the end of the day, boy, if somebody like Pac was alive, I don't even think shit like that would be going on because people, it would have been a different standard for manhood. You know, Diddy going down because he was the standard in the hip hop world. People don't know all of us. They don't know all the black people. They don't know all of the guys in our culture, but they know somebody like Diddy. And what he project and what he put out is what people gonna know. Whoo! I gotta cut the AC on. It's starting to cook. Oh no, I got the fan up here. Ooh, y'all gotta give me a second. I'll be back. All right, I'm back on the head. Summertime is here now. Think Tupac and Biggie would still be kings of the world until Diddy moved the chess pieces. Damn. Yeah, a lot of people been thinking that. That he had something to do with their death. I doubt it. But something like that. Snipe. Bogus munchies too. This shit is fat now. They got the big ass Taco Bell advertisement at the top of YouTube, so I need to scan down so I keep staring at this shit. But yeah, man, it's just time for Diddy to meet his maker, wouldn't come to this scenario, and then go back to his regular life of being a billionaire. I think he should go back to being a billionaire and having money. They're saying that the jury is trying to get Cassie's testimony. They want to see if they could isolate that and read over it. Man, I do, cuz. I do, Stoner Trap. I be having that type of shit. I do. But, you know, the more healthy it is, the more it make me be trying to kill my wife in the bedroom. And then she be mad. So I got to sometimes chill off with the motherfuckers. You know, all this smoothie shit. And it make you a demon, boy. You do. And I'm on 50. It still work. It still work. You eat healthy, boys, watermelon, all that shit. And she mad like, wait, stop. I can't do this to me. I'm like, God damn. But I need me a bunch of them Diddy chicks, but I ain't gonna even put myself in that situation, though, boy. Scary. You know what I'm saying? Scary. Because I would not want to be taking my ass to prison for none of that bullshit. None of that. I couldn't deal with it. And then the shit they said about him, could you imagine what they said about him and now he got to go sit in jail with that kind of shit, swirling in the fucking jail cell or the building? Man, they can't leave that nigga in there, man. They cannot. If they leave him in there, it's a death trap. I'm telling you, they can't leave him in there. Like the people who deciding, they cannot leave that nigga in jail. To what them girls said about that nigga can't be taken back. And he didn't even jump on stage and say, I ain't say no shit like that. Stupido. So that's just a bad scenario for the bro, man. But it fucked up. 34 days in court, nigga. You been coming to court every day. They dragging your ass in there. You know, you gotta remember, you ain't in your cell no more. They got you in the cell of the building. Like the building you in, it's like you're in a little holding cell area. You sitting back there like, man, it's a whack ass place. Lunchtime come, they bring you a bogus ass sandwich. You like, I'm downtown, nigga. Y'all could at least got me a motherfucking, come on, give me a burger, motherfucker. Damn. They like, you an inmate this time. We giving you this bullshit. Yeah, it's your food. You like, I gotta eat this shit again. Damn. You know, imagine them fucking fancy meals. You've been eating fancy ass dinners since your 20s. Every time you come around, there's a motherfucker there chefing for you. Hey, your meal is ready. You and this bitch like, bet, chop that shit up and bring it to me. This how rich this nigga's been. See, nobody talk about that lifestyle he been living. The money, where he's sitting around there, got all the shit flying from here to there. You know what I'm saying? Killing it, yo. But look, I'm gonna go ahead and dive off of here, man, and get my relax on. I'm gonna go ahead and hit y'all up later on another subject matter. We're gonna see this verdict watch together, and I'll hit y'all up in a minute. Like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I got a video gonna pop up on this little screen in a minute, and you can click that and continue hollering at me. All right, peace.